Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as to what we're doing today, like a couple days ago actually, I was just scrolling through Instagram and I stumbled upon this really cool Draw This in Your Style challenge by Candy Kiki on Instagram, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. As to why I decided to pick this character for today, it's well, because obviously the hair color. I am someone that loves drawing blue hair. Actually, blue is not my favorite color, but it looks really nice with my favorite color, which is salmon. So you see a lot of blue stuff in my illustrations, not because it's my favorite color, but because it's just complementing my favorite color. And besides the hair color of this character, I also love the design of the character. I think it's like really cool, the hairstyle and the clothing and all the plant motifs as well. I ended up not drawing any of the plants or any like botanic stuff, and I ended up not adding any of those into the illustration, but I tried my best, I guess. So before, I was showing you guys how I had to completely clean my palette for this illustration, and I really don't like doing that. I don't like cleaning my palette for any illustration at all. That's why it was so crusty and disgusting. But for this one I really had to, because I couldn't really risk muddying the colors of the illustration. I wanted them to look beautiful and pure as they should. My style when painting characters with gouache is not that different from my style when painting landscapes. The thing is, I'm like very impatient with gouache. Usually when I'm painting, I don't wait for things to dry completely. I just go while things are still wet, which actually ends up creating this really nice blended look to my illustrations that is very similar to my digital art style that I really like. In my last video, I mentioned that I was facing problems with my stand where it was shaking a lot and the filming was like really bad. Fortunately for this video, I managed to fix that, but I created another problem. Now the stand just moves by itself, and for this video, it decided that it wasn't worth it to film the actual process of the painting. It was much better to film my hand. So I had just around 20 minutes of me filming my hand. Fortunately, I realized that pretty soon, and I was not pretty soon, I lost 20 minutes, but I realized it soon enough and managed to fix it. So yeah, I guess we lost the part where I was just adding the base colors for the hair, so I'm sorry for that. I guess it's not one of my videos if there's no scuff, I mean. To be completely honest with you guys, my plan for today was not to do a gouache illustration. It was actually watercolor. I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys actually watched, but in my past video, the one with the owl alcohol marker illustration, I was talking about how I like the progression I had going for this channel. Like first I started with alcohol markers and then I went for gouache, the landscape thing. And those are respectively my favorite and second favorite art supplies. So following that progression, the next art supply that I should be doing would be watercolors, but I'm struggling with watercolors in this sketchbook. The pages are really bipolar when it comes to watercolors. I've been trying so hard to get them to work, but it's just not doing it. So I decided to just give up and do a gouache illustration instead of a watercolor one, because honestly I don't like suffering. So I think my next video, like the next one that I'll post, will be a watercolor, because I still want to just do a watercolor process thing for you guys, but it's not gonna be in my sketchbook. It's gonna be on proper watercolor paper. So yeah. I'm sorry, but can you guys see how crusty like and grainy Marceline's like color scheme looks like? And this is what I'm talking about when I say that this sketchbook is really bipolar with watercolors. By the way, that Marceline and bubblegum illustration was supposed to be a Valentine's Day illustration, and I ended up just giving up on that because it wasn't looking good. The paper is just mistreating me for some reason, and I really don't understand, because for the first part of this sketchbook everything was going perfect, but now every illustration that I do with watercolor, it just does that, and I don't understand. I think it's something to do with the sizing of the paper. Maybe like some of the pages have bad sizing in them, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll complain and talk about all of those when we get to like the actual sketchbook tour of this sketchbook. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to understand my pain. I feel like I'm just yapping and not actually explaining any of the process or anything that's happening in the illustration, which is good because I I don't know what to say. When I'm painting, I have all these cool ideas of what to say when I'm like recording the audio and everything like that. But when it comes to the part where I actually have to speak, I don't know, my brain just shuts down for some reason and I don't know what to say. I guess I could talk about like why I like drawing blue here a lot. Well, one of the other reasons, and is like what I'm doing right now. I just like dropping a lot of colors into like the main color because blue is a really forgiving color. When you do this with others, especially with reds, purples, and yellows, the colors just muddy and just get muddy and really ugly. But blue just it doesn't. It looks really nice and it feels like it gives like a reflection look almost. It looks like water and I really like doing it. So I'll just drop as many colors as I can and just complement everything at the end with like a darker blue, kind of just to give that extra contrast. And yeah. I mentioned before that I had no idea what to do, like how, with the vibe of this channel, like what would be the vibe and everything like that. And I think I'm starting to figure out what I want to do is like I want to do more like cozy like sketchbook videos because I really like those. They're really nice to watch when you're just doodling on your sketchbook. It feels less lonely. It's not like you're drawing by yourself. It feels like you're drawing with company and everything like that. And I was reading the comments the other day and there was like people saying that my voice is really calming. And you guys don't have to lie. You really don't, but I guess thank you. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I want to follow, more like cozy like nice stuff to put on the background while you're drawing, while you're filling your sketchbooks and everything like that. So as I mentioned before, if you guys have any suggestions for me, anything that you'd like to see, you can always just tell me in the comments. I'll make sure to look into those and maybe even do them. So yeah. So what you see me doing here right now is just adding this orange color on top of the blue line art, and it's just a nice effect. Some parts I'm treating it more of as a shadow type of thing, but in other parts I'm just adding on top. And I don't know how to explain what this is exactly. It feels like chromatic aberration, but it's not really. But yeah, it looks good. That's why I do it. And I do this in like every illustration with any medium, even digitally. You'll see me try and do this because it looks good. It looks nice. And right now for like her clothing, like the original illustration has like really beautiful clothing, but I was very lazy. I was really tired when I was doing this and I was running against the sunlight. I think I was doing this. It was already 3 p.m. and the sun was like ending, like the sun was setting pretty soon, so I had to rush things out, and so I didn't do a lot for the clothing. I didn't do anything at all pretty much. But yeah, the results don't look that bad. I feel like it gives like an artistic look to it. Just ways of me to explain my laziness. But yeah. Right now, I'm just adding the last finishing touches, my favorite step, just finishing everything, and I'm just adding little stars. I love little stars, and I'm going to be adding pretty much everywhere in this illustration because they look pretty, okay? And I realized that my gouache wasn't bright enough to be doing all those little stars, so I decided to pull out my gel pens to do the job. The reason why my gouache is not bright enough, it's probably because of years of me cross-contaminating them, so they've grown a little bit muddy. But yeah, just adding all those little details, all those little things that I love doing so much. So we are approaching the very end of this video. Right now I'm just showing you guys how the final illustration looks. I really like it, even though it's like really simple. It's really pretty, especially like the hair. Of course I would especially like the hair. But yeah, if you saw something you like, please don't forget to leave a like, maybe even subscribe, wink wink. And if it's not asking too much, you can also tell me what you thought about like everything in the comments below. But yeah, this is all for today. See you on my next video. Bye!